Hi everyone, over the next few minutes I'll be showing you how you can download a list of ticker symbols in a CSV file and import it into Optuma. Now we do have a number of symbol lists already built into the software if you have the Optuma symbol lists enabled on your account. That includes a number of indices around the world and the components, particularly the US, so a lot of sector indices or ETFs, and also Russell 3000, things like that. But what we can do is download a list of symbols that make up an ETF, for example. So what we've got here is the iShares SOX Semiconductor Index, or ETF. That's been in the news a lot this week because it's reached all-time highs. So what we can do is on their website here at iShares, there's a download button. I'm going to click that for Excel and open that file. And this contains all the components that make up the ETF. For some reason it pops up with that error, but we'll just click yes. I'm just going to drag this, make it a little bit bigger. So this is all the components of that ETF. And all we need is column A for the ticker symbol. But if you have professional services or enterprise services, we can also bring in the weighting. So how much does the individual company make up in the ETF? So I've got to enable editing, and all we need is you've got to get rid of the first 8 rows here. We just need it to start on the header row where it says ticker and name, for example. And I'm just going to keep columns A and D, which is the weighting, and delete all the rest. Now if we scroll down, there's also a couple of symbols here which are cash and other instruments, which we don't really need. So I'm going to get rid of them as well. So we end up with there's 30 companies that make up the ETF. The first row is the heading, that's why it says 31. But now we can save this as a CSV file. So file, save as. I'm going to put it on my desktop. The name, I'm going to call it SOX Holdings. And save as type, I'm going to change it to CSV, delimited, and hit save. Because there's multiple tabs in this Excel, it's only going to save the holdings tab in a CSV. That's that warning. So we'll just click OK, and then we can close that CSV file. Now all we need to do is go over to Optuma and pull in that CSV file of symbols. So File, Open Symbol List, and then click on the new CSV file, and we need to navigate to the desktop, which is where I saved SOX Holdings, and then click Open. Now because I brought in the fund weight, that's the green column here. Now we got to tell it which is the symbol column. So if I click that blue symbol button there and then the column, that will highlight in that color, and we can then add file. If you have trader services, you won't have the ability to bring in the weighting, so all you need is column A in the CSV, just the ticker symbol. Click add file, and that is now our list of companies in that ETF. So we can open as a watch list, we can add columns. For example, we can bring in that fund weight. So Nvidia is the biggest component of the ETF at nearly 9%. And we can open this as an RRG, for example. So this is benchmarked to the S&P 500 by default, but we can change that to the actual ETF. So comparison index will change to the SOX. And that is now an RRG relative to the ETF itself. So you can immediately see the relative strength of all those companies within that ETF. Hope that's been helpful. If you have any questions, please let us know. Thanks very much.